record to this computer. All right. And let me go Facebook live stream on Facebook. Continue as Rick. Go live. All right, guys, we're about to go live on Facebook, and we're going to start this call. Setting up, redirecting. I think we're about to go live.
Okay.
Oh, we are live on Facebook. All right. So how do I mute this so I don't have double echoes? All right, cool. So let's go in and get started, everybody. Welcome to this call we're hosting with the incredible Artemisa Boston. Artemisa is one of the NAHREP top 250 realtors in the country, actually number 2 in the country, massive rock star. And I'm also joined by my co-host, Bernie Miller, also another massive rock star in the industry and NAHREP 10 ambassador. And Bernie, I could let you talk a little bit about the NAHREP 10.
No, I love it. So team, we're looking to host these once a month. The NAHREP 10, as you know, is all about raising awareness and building Hispanic wealth. Okay. So today we're showcasing a phenomenal real estate producer. This young lady has not only, taken advantage and grown way, not just in the top 10% of her profession, but the top 1/10 of 1% of her profession. Okay. So embodying that NAHREP 10 number 2, but also has been able to keep some balance and harmony and stay active in the lives of her children and family, which of course is another part of the NAHREP 10 principles. But most importantly, I think by just being who she is, and you're going to hear some of her amazing stories. Rick and I were so impressed when we got to do our first interview with Artemisa, is she has helped build the foundations of wealth for thousands of young Latino families in her market. She's going to talk about that. And so Artemisa, welcome. We are so excited to interview you today.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. Really happy to be here.
Fantastic.
Absolutely. And so why don't you just kind of give us a quick summary of your journey?
Okay, so I'm from Mexico City. I came here like 26 years ago. I have been a real estate agent for 23 years. I live in Minnesota. I am married for 25 years and I have 2 kids. Alex, 19, Ella, she's almost 16.
Oh. So from what I remember, you have been in real estate for 23 years and you've achieved lots of success. What mindset shifts did you have to make along the way to get to the top? Because especially like I imagine Minnesota isn't a large Hispanic market. I've never been there. The only thing I know about Minnesota is what I've learned from watching the Mighty Ducks when I was a kid. So
it's like, okay, so the mindset is that, yes, I am a real estate agent, but I need to also be a business person. So you need to grow your business. Yes, you need to enjoy being a real estate agent, but also you need to bring systems that work for your business. So in that way, your business grow as your career too.
Right. No, I love that. And Artemis, what I really hear you saying there, and I think this would be some great perspective, is you have to have help to really grow. Okay. The Hispanic Wealth Project shows us that there is a massive percentage of Latinos and Hispanics who own businesses, who are self-employed. However, they sometimes are solo practitioners. Therefore, they never really grow. And I think you would probably agree that a lot of realtors do the same thing. So could you give us some just some insights, like what got you past the fear of hiring that first assistant and taking a little bit of risk? And then could you also talk about how your team is structured now? I think that would be a huge help.
That's a good idea.
Yes. So I want to be the main contact for my clients. I want to be the person that speaks to every single one of my clients. So I need to create something that gives me the opportunity to still be the main contact with the client and the ones who negotiate the transactions and everything. So obviously, if I want to do that with the amount of clients that I was like having, I have to like start like having assistants, and I create a system. I don't know who was the first one, but I think I was one of the first ones that create the showing agent concept. So in the beginning, I was afraid because I was thinking that my clients are going to be upset because I'm not going to be able to show the houses to them. But I learned that if you set up the expectations to your clients and you say, you know what, I'm not going to be showing the houses, but this is like I'm willing to pay somebody else, because in that way you don't have to wait for me and you don't lose the house. So basically just like explaining your client that you are doing this because it's the best for your client. And also like explaining that, yes, the showing agent, his job is going to be showing the house and be nice. But if you have questions, you want to be like make an offer or you need an advice, I am your real estate agent. I am your main contact. You need to call me.
Right. So, so what I hear you saying is you make it clear that you are still with them. You're not handing them off.
No.
You're still their main person on the team, even though you have hired and empowered great people that can handle a bunch of stuff, right? So that you can keep the time for those key contact points, right?
That is correct.
Really good. Really good.
Yeah, and you find the way that sometimes like doing that, you bring like people with a lot of talent. And some people, they do stuff better than you. You need to like stop thinking that if you don't do it yourself, it's not going to be well done. You will be surprised that some people do this stuff better than you.
Yep, I love that. But I bet nobody can sell better than you or make clients feel valued better than you, right?
Yes, because that is like you need to find what you are strong. If you are like a strong salesperson, but you don't do really good like in Facebook or whatever or Instagram, you need to like leave that to the someone that loves to do that, because it's going to be better, and you are just like it's going to be more difficult for you. And if you are like so talented with people and you make people feel special and they are going to like send you clients and they are going to have a really good customer service and that is your thing, you need to do what you are better at.
Yep, I love that. And Artemisa, really quick before I hand it to Rick, can you just tell our audience how your team is structured right this second? How many people you've gotten, which spots?
Yes, I have like 7 assistants and I have like 10 showing agents. And they are like, they work when they want. So every time that we have a showing, I have a coordinator to contact one of the agents. And we like, basically my clients, they can look at the house between 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., Monday to Sunday. And it's always like the coordinator works between 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. So he knows that he has an hour to answer the text message of the person who wants to look at the house. And he like coordinate with the agent and the client and set up the appointment. So that is the way that and obviously my assistants, they have different responsibilities. And those, I like give them the responsibilities based on what they are good at. I try to like meet them and I try to see what is the stuff that they are good at. And instead of just like trying to put an assistant in a place that she's not going to be happy, I try to learn what is the passion that this assistant has. So I try to like accommodate in a space where she's going to be happy and more productive.
So that was my next question. Was I was going to ask how you find out how to delegate to who during the hiring process, but you already answered that. So I'll skip that question and go to the next question.
No, but let me tell you how I hire people. I hire people based in personality and attitude, because I think anyone like can learn stuff. But if you don't have a good attitude or like personality or whatever, you cannot like teach that kind of stuff.
Mhm. So last year you closed 68 million, which is a ton of business. I mean, I would love to close that amount. How do you because you have two young ones and you're very active with your family. How do you manage that? How do you manage high production, managing a team, but then also spending time with your family and pouring into them? Because that is one of the NAHREP 10 principles is, family is very important to who we are.
Yes. So my husband is wonderful. First of all, I was lucky and we are a team. So he helps a lot with the kids. But also I want to be part of my life, their lives. So and was really difficult because like I say, realtors, we think that we need to do everything. So, but I learned to leverage. I was good, like focusing in the stuff that I really need my attention, and I give other office stuff to other people. So in that way, I have more time because it doesn't matter how many transactions you close or how much money you make if you don't have time to be with your family and your friends. That, by the way, when you spend time with them, that gives you the motivation to work even harder.
Right, right. And you're setting the example for them, right? They're seeing mom and dad. And Artemisa, I love that you recognize your husband because I just for me anyway, my wife, us as a team is super powerful, but I think it's also showing our kids what a great healthy relationship, right, can look like and how it can help your business
Yes.
grow, and you can thrive in both your family and your business, right? Which is so neat. Okay, so Artemisa, I know we have some newer agents on the call as well. Okay, so now fast forward, it's not 23 years ago, right? Now it's 2025. What are a couple pieces of advice you would give a motivated, great attitude, newer agent right now to really, start, doing well in this business?
I think you need to treat this job like a regular job, like a full-time job. And
I
you
love
need
that.
to be your own supervisor. Okay, so you need to be accountable and have the list of the stuff that you are going to do. You cannot do just one video and for social media and do another one in 3 months and wondering why it's not working. You need to work 8 hours every day. Take your breaks for your lunch, for your breaks, but you need to be doing videos, making whole calls, trying to do everything that you can for 7 hours, because that is the only way that you are going to be successful in this business. You cannot treat this business like a business that you are going to only work 2 hours every day, because maybe yes, you are going to be successful, but depends what kind of agent you want to be, and that is going to be longer. It's going to take longer. You need to go every day to meet with someone in the beginning because you don't have clients. You need to meet with insurance agents. You need to meet with hairstylers and different kind of people that they can recommend you business, and you can return business and do different things. But it's just you need to respect this kind of job, and the videos, I'm sorry, the shows in TV, sometimes they don't help because everyone is so beautiful and they work only 1 hour and they sell a lot of houses. That is not like this. Real estate is not like that.
Oh, I was looking to get into real estate, man.
I love it.
So I have a couple of questions on what you just said, not from the list, but do you really only work 8 hours a day?
Oh, no.
Okay.
You have to
Well then let's tell the truth. How many hours do you have to work to be successful?
No, you need to work whatever is necessary, 10 hours, 12 hours, whatever, depends of the day. But also you need, after when you have a while that you are ready, start your business, and now you have assistants and you can escape because you have systems. So you can be 2 hours with your friends, 3 hours in a game with your kids, or you you learn to do that, okay? But real estate agents, to be like honest, we work all the time, and we need to like talk to our families. And if you don't want to work all the time, perfect. So if you want to work until 5 p.m., perfect. But you need to like find another person who is a partner. So the other person works after 5 p.m. Otherwise, somebody's going to call you at 6 p.m. and he's going with the next realtor because we are a lot.
Right. So, and Artemis, what I really hear you saying is schedule your day for 8 hours a day, just like you were a normal worker working for Chase or whoever, right? Because that's what you would do.
Mhm.
But and I'm a lender. We have to be responsive after hours too. Maybe I'm not doing 20 Zoom calls at 8 p.m. But I mean, like right now, my wife and I are selling our home. We're moving back to Chicago, the city. We're going to rent in the city. And our agent was sending us, rental listing properties at like 8, 9 o'clock last night. Now, is she thinking about that as work? I don't know. I mean, she loves what she does, and we're friends too. So therefore, but she's still there, right? She's responding. And yeah, that's important. And I love the reality about that, right? That's
Mhm.
real, right? Even at your level, right? You're watching the phone and responding at the baseball games, right?
Yeah, and obviously, when you have the passion for the job, you are working and it doesn't feel that you are like working sometimes because you
Right.
enjoy your job so much that it's normal for you, no?
Yeah. No, I love that. I love that. So from a loan officer point of view, Artemis, because we have a lot of loan officers in NAHREP, okay? Every loan officer would love to know, gosh, how do I find an agent like you, build trust? So, what are maybe the top three things you look for in a lender that you would be comfortable doing work with?
No,
So,
but before she answers that question, real quick, I just want to tell everybody that I dropped Artemisa's Instagram in the chat box, and I dropped Bernie's. And I would encourage everyone to drop theirs. Let's make sure we connect, and let's make sure that we're
Yes.
supporting one another, because this question Bernie just asked is helping support others, and that's the whole point of this call. So, drop your IG or your Facebook or wherever platform you're on, so we can all connect, because I'm willing to bet that sometimes Artemisa might get a client in a state that she doesn't live in, maybe in Florida. And I'd want to be a Florida agent that she knows and trusts. So
mhm.
drop your stuff in the chat. All right. Sorry. Continue.
Okay, so the loan officer is like the loan officer and real estate relationship is like a marriage. So you have to have the same kind of a schedule, the same kind of energy. The, because you cannot be with someone that if you don't want to work after 5 p.m., but I am working at 10 p.m. because I am doing a purchase agreement and you don't answer, and I don't know how much I can offer for a house because you don't answer, I'm going to be really frustrated. So you need to
Right.
like find your match. It depends of the kind of realtor or loan officer that you are. The other thing is also the loan officer needs to like if you say that you are going to do something, you need to like do it because
Right.
sometimes you sell really good. How many times we have the someone that sells really good, but they don't like do the job.
Right.
So to like have my trust is like if you are going to say if you say that you are going to do something and you don't do that, you I don't trust you and we are not a good match. One thing is you forget one day something, but if it's like too often, I'm like, maybe this is not the right person for me.
Right. Right. So really what I hear you saying too, it's follow up, right? I think you're right. I think a lot of loan officers promise a bunch of stuff and then, kind of poof, they don't get back to that client or they don't want to dig in and really help. Because hey, our buyers, Artemisa, they need help, right? They need help. And the realtors and lenders have to work together to do that.
And if you don't do a good job, at the end, sometimes the buyers, they think that is myself because I
Right.
am the one who is referring the loan officer. So if you are not providing a good like customer service to my client, why am I spending all that money and time trying to bring like leads if my loan officer is not going to call back and I'm going to lose the client?
Right.
So it makes sense.
And a great loan officer should be working with that client to help you get more leads possibly from that client, right?
Correct.
Because they are an extension of you. I
Mm-hmm.
love that. So good. Okay. All right, Rick.
So,
Go
so
ahead,
one of the
man.
things you talked about, and I think aligns with realtors, loan officers, anybody that's on this call that's in sales, right? You talked about you have to do your activity. You got to meet with everybody. You got to make your calls. You got to do this. So, like, I want to show you, like, I make my calls every single day and I track it, right? Because you can't grow if you don't do the activity. But I'm sure that, like, I'm not alone in experiencing this. We do our activities, we make our calls, we do our appointments, but then a week goes by and we have no business. I imagine, like, in your season in life now, like, you don't have that problem. You probably have business as soon as you wake up. But if you were in that season where you're doing the activity and you're not getting the business, what would you do?
Is in the beginning, I was new here. Coming from Mexico City, I didn't know anyone in Minnesota. So the thing that I did is, in those times, I went and walked like in busy streets where Hispanics are, and like stores or whatever. And I was like just talking to people, and I was like just trying to meet people. And I was like giving business cards and saying, hey, if you want to buy a house, I was like the crazy person. And sometimes people ignore you, but you need to be motivated every day. If you don't have business, you need to find a way to find business. And you need to be like constant. You cannot try one thing one week and it's not working and you don't try it next week. Sometimes it takes like 6 months for something to work. And eventually somebody's going to call you if you like walk during the summer, you do your exercise, and also you like put your flyers in the mailboxes. Okay, and you choose 10 streets. Okay, so you are going at some point, if you use, for example, the same color of the flyer, at some point people always they are going to throw that away. But when they need the service, they are going to remember the color of the flyer and they are going to be waiting for your flyer. And somebody is going to call you. And it can be after 6 months, but it's a way to bring business. You need to be motivated and try, and eventually it's going to work. Just like have faith and create different things, work hard, treat this like a business, treat this like a regular job, and eventually it's going to work.
So I love what you said there. You said sometimes it could take up to 6 months,
Mm-hmm.
right? Now, could you imagine recruiting a realtor or recruiting a loan officer to our team and saying it could take 6 months before you get a paycheck? But we know that once you get past that 6 months and get to that year, we have the potential to make more money than doctors and lawyers without the education and without the student loans. But that's a really hard pill for many to swallow. You talked about being motivated. I would say one of the areas that I've learned the most from working with Bernie and being a part of NAHREP is it's also you have to have discipline. You have to be disciplined to show. And I watch a lot of videos on YouTube. I know Miriam Crispin's on the call, so I'm gonna. She's a big Tampa Bay fan, and Tom Brady played for Tampa Bay, and like all of a sudden I become a big Tom Brady fan. Tom Brady says it all the time. You have to do the work when you don't want to. You have to do the work when everyone else is out having fun and playing. You have to do the work on days where you're tired and you just don't want to do it. And in those instances, that discipline yields results.
That is correct. You need to do it. Sometimes my friends are having a lot of fun and I want to have fun too. But I know that I'm not going to be okay if I don't do everything that I need to do before to like go and have fun. So every morning I try to like wake up early, have my coffee, be calm, meditate a little bit, have enough time to like look good, because in this business you need to look good, like good. You need to invest some time to like look okay. You are going to feel better, and it's going to be like better for your business. Okay. And also I try to return all my phone calls the same day, all my text messages, and all my emails before to go to my bed. It doesn't matter what time it is. Yesterday we were like talking at 11 p.m. or something like that, but
Yeah,
I
we were
was not
texting at 11
done.
p.m. last night. I felt kind of bad, but you
Yeah.
started the text.
Yes, the thing is, I saw my calendar the next day and I was thinking that I was done. And I was not done because I have to like talk to you guys and confirm and whatever. So that is like the life of a realtor. But I need to do that in order to don't have like a mess the next day. Otherwise, I need to return double phone calls and double messages, and it's going to be bad.
Yeah. And Artemis, I love that you went down the path of a little bit of kind of self-care, right? 'Cause we see a lot of agents, lenders work themselves like crazy and they get unhealthy, their relationships, their family gets unhealthy. So thank you for touching kind of on some of your morning routine. Is there anything else that you do for yourself that keeps you ready to go, right? Because you can't pour from an empty cup. If you're not feeling great every day, it's hard to get out there and deliver for your clients, right?
So
Yeah,
like sharpening your sword, right? That's what you're referring to. What do you do to sharpen your sword and stay sharp?
yes, and I'm talking about like simple things like pack your lunch. Otherwise, you don't eat correctly, and
Right.
eventually you are going to feel bad, and you are going to have sickness, and you feel tired because you go and buy a hot dog in the gas station. That is not okay. It's part of like you take a shower every morning, you like get ready, take the time to do that. I know that you want to sleep more because you are tired, but if you don't take the time to do that, you are going to feel bad the entire day. And if you're a woman, more, because you guys is easier. But if we don't have like a little makeup or something, we feel like we know that we can look better. Okay. And so that is one thing. And the other thing is take the time to like get the fruit and get the stuff that you're going to eat, like pack your lunch, so you don't have to like spend time going to like find something that probably is not going to be healthy for you, and you're going to spend more money. Okay. So, and
Right.
more time.
Well, but
Right.
also eating that bad food affects your mindset, right? I mean,
Oh,
early in my career, I was like 50 pounds overweight. I was eating pizza pockets for lunch. I was struggling with depression, anxiety. Like I was in a bad place in my mind. And a lot of that came from the terrible food I was putting in my body. It all adds up. So like I like how disciplined you are in putting clean food in, but doing the activity, being prepared. So you're right. When it comes time to eat, you don't need to put any thought to that because your food is packed.
And
But
obviously,
with
you need to once in a while, like have a big steak somewhere and a little piece of cake because you deserve it too. Why not? But it
yes.
cannot be every day.
so I like that comment about buying the hot dog at the gas station. I one time bought sushi at a gas station. Not a great idea.
Oh,
You know, I have been
So
there.
you've been there, right? So we have realtors on this call at different levels of their business. Some are, top producers, middle, lower producers. What three activities would you recommend to anybody in their business right now to grow their business? If there was three activities you had to do this week to get two more transactions or four more transactions, what would those three activities be?
Your database, like focus in your database. Every single person that calls you, it's a potential client in the future. If someone calls you and you're in the funnel, the idea is to like try to set the appointment. But if the client doesn't want to make the appointment and you already spent 10 minutes explaining the programs and whatever, you need to like put that person in your database, and eventually maybe it's going to be a client. Instead of like, oh, this guy, I just like talked to him for 10 minutes and he didn't make the appointment. And okay, bye. No, no, no. You put the guy or the girl in the database and you call next week. So are you ready to set the appointment? No, the thing is I don't have credit. Okay, so what about if you get a secure card? So, and after that, you follow and you follow and you follow, and you are going to get the clients. So that is one thing that people can start this week. Another thing is like putting a piece of paper, what is going to be like your publicity. If you don't have a big budget, so social media is free, but you need to like, if you are going to do something every week, like try it for 6 months. And if it's not working, you start another thing. And so what is another thing that you can start? Like maybe if you are not working the hours that you need to work, you need to force yourself from tomorrow to take the time to get ready and go to your office or your house where you are going to work and force yourself to work in real estate for 7 hours. Because it's 8 hours, but you can have your lunch or whatever. So you need to start tomorrow doing those three things.
Love it.
Super impactful. I mean, Artemisa, my favorite thing that you said in this whole call is literally the mindset of just work 8 hours, right?
Mhm.
Like I used to teach lenders and realtors, I still coach lenders and realtors when they're starting, like you don't have to have a team to have a team meeting. Start your day, get dressed at 8:30. If you're a solo practitioner in this business, have your own team meeting, right? Here's my day. Here's the top 3 things I need to get done today. Here's my schedule. Here's my call lists. Go, right?
Yes,
That is so critical because I think you're right. I think if newer agents would just put in 7 or 8 hours a day, but run their schedule, do their calls, they would find success, right?
I think so. If you like, obviously, sometimes you're embarrassed to do a few things like videos or pictures or call your classmate, your past classmate asking
Right.
for business. But you need to do what you need to do to get business. If you want to be a salesperson, even that you are taking, for example, before I was not able to like speak um, with people because I was so nervous. I was like dying every time that someone says like you need to be in a podcast, you need to like be here speaking in a panel. I was like, please no, but I was forcing myself. I forced myself. Every time was easier and easier and easier. The first times I promise you, I almost pass out. Okay, because I was like my accent. Nobody's going to understand anything. But I was like, I passed that. I convinced myself. I was like, maybe I can take classes. So my husband says, no, because you are going to lose Artemisa. Everyone is used to that accent. Okay, that is your personality. So, but I need to like practice and practice and practice until I feel better. For example, now I feel better. I'm not nervous like
Right.
before. Okay, and you just need to like do something and you don't feel comfortable calling people in the beginning. Maybe the first phone call you are going to like when you hang up, you are going to what I was saying. But maybe you like after that you do a script basing what people is answering. And you like try again until you're a pro. Like because you are going to like talk like a salesperson.
Right.
I love that. And I know that you do such a great job of leveraging social media in your business. Talk to us a little bit about how you use social media and you also in your social media you branded yourself as the baseball mom. So
Yes.
talk a little bit about your branding and how you use social media and how it all connects.
Okay, so this was like an accident. I wanna like put a stuff like about myself. So my friends in Mexico they can see my babies growing. And but I was like working at the same time that I was in the like watching baseball. It's like merge. Your my personality and my job, they merge. Because I was like doing both things at the same time because I was in a baseball game, but I was working and but the thing is I think the people they want to like see your real self. is you cannot only be selling the entire time. They get bored. Oh, that girl again talking about houses. But they wanna like know who you are. I am like the wife. Oh, this is my anniversary. It's 25 years. But it's not something that I create. Some people they are really good doing that. I just did that like there, okay, and it works because I try to be authentic, and people they know when you are fake and when you are authentic, because you can notice when someone is not there. So I think it was an accident, but it worked.
It's going on.
Oh.
There we go.
Somebody spoke. I muted them. Go ahead, Bertie. I think you're up for the next question.
Yeah, no. So for Artemisa, for your social media, which platforms? That's always a question people ask. Oh my gosh, TikTok. I'm never going to be able to do it. What platform has worked best for you and your clients, followers, and VIPs?
It is like I use Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok.
Okay.
But because I'm not like obviously I am the Facebook person, no, because of my age. And by the way, Facebook works a lot, really good. But the thing that I did is I hired younger people that they are like, they know how like Instagram and Facebook works. So instead of me trying to figure it out and doing that in knowing the correct way, I just like do a video or something, and these people they put it in social media, and sometimes they change the music and they convert it to another thing that is like no a video, is a reel. And I don't understand a lot about it, but it's what I say, that when you leverage to people that they know what they are doing, you are like not trying to do something, spending an hour in something that it's not going to even be good, because someone that is 20 years old, for them is natural. And they are going to enjoy it.
Right. I was in Puerto Rico with my wife this last week on her incentive trip, and I made a reel, and I figured out a way to get the Bad Bunny music in there, who's Puerto Rican. I was so proud, Artemis, so proud of myself. But that stuff, it makes a difference, right? Vic, go ahead, man. I love it.
Well, first of all, I wanted to tell all the people watching and listening, if you have any questions for Artemisa, put them in the chat box, because we're coming to the end of our time. I wanted to wrap this up around 11:45. So any questions you have, put in the chat box. I want to make sure that we answer some of your questions. It's to get somebody like Artemisa here on this call. We want to try to bring value to everybody. So any questions anybody has, put in the chat box. Somebody just said she needs to keep her accent. I was born in the US and I have the best gringo accent when I speak Spanish. What matters is you try and get your point across. Honestly, Artemisa, I had no idea you had an accent. I just figured that's how everybody in Minnesota spoke.
Oh, that is so nice. And by the way, the gringo accent is super cute too.
Well, so waiting to see if anybody questions come through, but if not, I would say, let me go back to my question sheet here. Man, I think we asked a lot of the questions. I would say, what is the biggest mistake a lot of loan officers make when trying to build relationships with realtors?
They oversell themselves.
What do you mean?
They say that, yes, no, I'm the best of the best, and I can like, you send me all the clients and I'm going to be okay, and I'm going to be like doing this and that, and you send a client and they don't call the client. And you find out after your client doesn't answer the phone to you anymore because nobody called him for a week. That is like a mistake that a loan officer can do.
Well, we'll talk more about that offline. I'm gonna have a solution for you. So one question that came into the chat box: do you hire local marketing people, or are your marketing people remote? And this question comes from Esther Azuna, who's one of the top realtors of the Southeast. Incredible leader. She's involved in many different organizations. Powerhouse realtor, Esther. So what do you think there?
Remember that I told you that I hire my assistants based in what are the talents that they have.
Mhm.
So one of my assistants is really good, like doing social media. But I also have someone doing like postings and posting every day in TikTok and yeah, and I'm sorry, and Facebook. And she's from Colombia. She's in Colombia and she's doing like all that work every day because in that way we have someone that is doing that every day because sometimes the assistant, if she's busy doing other stuff, if she doesn't do that, we are still covered that someone is doing that every day, and it's a little bit cheaper than hiring
Yes.
someone here.
Another question we got, what is the future in real estate the next 5 years? AI, etc. What's your perspective, Artemisa?
I think the interest rate is going to be lower because usually when we get like that, it takes like 7 years to like come back. So it's going to be lower, and the people is not going to be like right now they are afraid for what's going on. In a few months, they are going to stop being afraid, and the interest rate is going to be lower, so the market is going to be busier. That is what I think is going to happen.
I agree with that. I think that's many of us have been in the industry for a while, have seen those patterns, and that seems to be what we're expecting, what we're kind of trending towards.
Mm-hmm. And right now, that market is slow, kind of slow. Remember that you need to like it's slow, but you can make it like you can work in your business. In the successful agent is when everyone is like, oh, nobody's calling me. I'm going to watch TV for 5 hours. The successful agent, we are working in our business when other people is sleeping. In Christmas, when like some people they are like, oh, I'm just going to take like a week off. The successful agent is preparing for the next year.
Right.
That is the difference between one to another agent. But depends on what kind of agent, because you also need to like do what makes you happy. No, everyone needs to be a mega agent. What about if you are okay selling a house every couple months? If you are happy doing that, it's fine too.
Great
Right.
advice. Somebody put a question in. You mentioned the marketing assistant. Are they creating content in Spanish for you? I'm guessing they probably are.
Yes.
Do,
Yeah,
do you do
everything
both? Do you
is.
do both Spanish and English, or just Spanish?
She does in Spanish, and sometimes I do stuff in English, and they put subtitles. Or
Okay.
when it's in Spanish, we like do the subtitles in English. So yeah, both more in
Wonderful.
Spanish.
More in Spanish. Well, we're coming up on our time, and Artemisa, we greatly appreciate you coming on today, providing us your time, giving us some of your perspective. Is there anything you want to leave everybody with as we wrap this up?
I just wanna like I appreciate the time of all of you guys. I hope that I inspire you at least a little bit because this is the point when we get together like this. And I just want to like tell you that the most important is to have balance in your life. It doesn't matter how much business you wanna. Every person has like different kind of like dreams to like maybe like sell 100 houses or maybe 10 houses or maybe 200 houses, and that is okay. But remember, when you are not having fun anymore and you are burning yourself because you are working too much, maybe it's time to hire your next assistant or or try to do something because you need to have fun too.
Yep.
And somebody's there, like delivering something. Yeah, so thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for the time.
So great.
Bernie, any last thoughts you want to leave, Bernie?
No, this is fantastic. I would just say to our audience, okay, if you have buyers that are getting relocated from their job or they are relocating to the state of Minnesota, anywhere, Okay. Please, please, please reach out to Artemisa. I'm sure she would take amazing care of them. And of course, if she's not the right agent for that specific area, she can help you figure out who is. But obviously, we want to be supporting our NAHREP top 250 agents everywhere, and she certainly is just phenomenal. So Artemisa, thank you so much. This was great.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Have a great day, and thank you for everybody that came on.
Thank you.
See you guys.